immediately as a police officer, like immediately out of the gates, I saw like that dude getting arrested for going surfing. And I'm like, the government has lost their mind. Like we don't own, I'm a police officer. I don't own the ocean. I can't tell you can't surf just because Gavin Newsom tells you can't surf. Like it wasn't making sense. And you want to talk about like state of emergency or martial law. And it's like, those are very, very like slippery slopes. And you start saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Immediately something felt off to me. But I didn't want to base it on like, science or politics because the pandemic was so new, nobody really knew what was going on. I just knew something felt off. And I was watching cops go in, and this is kind of what pushed me over the edge. There was cops that started doing undercover operations to bust businesses that were still open. And I'm like, listen, if this is so dangerous that we as police officers need to deprive people of their constitutional rights, but you're doing that by setting up operations and going into their place of business to bust them, like, no. If it's Ebola and you catch this and you die, like
on the spot,
that's the level of importance that they seem like they're putting on this. But if you're actually going to walk into the business and arrest them and then take that person and put them in a county jail with 100 other people, like this is counterproductive to what we are trying to do here. So I remember every single cop, not most cops, not 99%. I have yet to meet the cop that saw what was happening and said, yeah, this is a good idea. We should be arresting people for going to the park. We should be arresting people for keeping their businesses open. No cop liked the direction that they were taking our profession, but no one would say anything.
And is that just because just livelihood? I mean, that's what I argue about. It's like bandit.
100%. Everybody is a slave. I always say, like, man, the American culture replaced the whip with the dollar. Like a lot of Americans are still enslaved right now because if you're doing something that goes against your morals or your ethics simply because you're getting paid, you are a slave. Yeah. And I don't care how, I mean, you need to draw a hard line and you're on one side of that line or the other. And if they're pushing you to behave or enforce laws that you in your heart don't feel are moral or ethical, you need to stand up as a police officer. And so my fear was that we were going to turn the American public against the profession because the relationship between the American people and the profession of law enforcement, there's an ebb and flow to it. Sometimes cops are heroes and then sometimes cops are racist demons and it goes back and forth. But I felt like we had been on a pretty good trajectory for a while. And I was like, man, if they use us to enforce all this stuff, it's going to make the American people hate the profession. And that's what inspired me to make that video. And if you listen to the video, I didn't get political. I didn't even touch about on the virus much because I understood I have my opinions, but I'm not a doctor. I'm a cop. And so anything that I say, people aren't going to give validity to. So I didn't want to make the message about that. I wanted to make the message about our oath as police officers is sworn to uphold your citizens' constitutional rights and their liberties that are supposed to be protected by the government. And when you go into somebody's place of business and you take them out of there, that's like, and I went down the list of what's a Fourth Amendment violation, what's a First Amendment violation. And man, it resonated with people. And that video went like super viral.
Yeah, no,
super.
But you're right. A lot of people were feeling that, man. You hit the nail on the head when you did it. It was very eloquent for a ranger, and you actually used syllables like words with 4 syllables and 5 syllables. It was impressive, extremely impressive.
And here's the weird thing about that. This is a big learning experience for me because I own a gym, so my information's public. You can Google my gym, and my phone number that is attached to the gym is this phone right here. And so I never had a reason to have a work phone and a personal phone. And so, man, that phone started ringing literally 24/7 for like a month. And it was bizarre because 99% of people that contacted me, it would be like, are you the cop from the video? Is this really a photo?" Like, yeah, what's up, man? "Oh, dude, I just wanted to say that was awesome. Later, dude," click. And it was a bunch of weird interactions. And then every once in a while, it'd be like, "Hey, motherfucker, your stupid ass video is going to get people killed because now they're not taking the coronavirus as serious as they should. I hope you fucking die," click. And it's like, man, that was bothering me. And it was like, dude, 99% of people were supportive, but 1% of people were sending fucked up things. And that hurt. Like, dude, like someone sent my wife a message saying they're going to kill my kids. And it's like, dude,
yeah,
I don't know what it is inside of us, but instead of focusing on the good, I found myself focusing on the negative. And it's like, I would allow these little bits of hate coming in to affect me or get me upset. Or just like you mentioned earlier, like the media, every single media outlet wanted to have me on their story. And I ended up doing Laura Ingraham. I ended up doing her show. And she didn't paint me in a bad light or manipulate my words, but just the way that I was able to convey my points. I mean, you and I have been talking for 55 minutes. Yep. This is a conversation, right?
Exactly. That's why I love what we do.
Yeah, on Fox News, it's like, all right, we're going to be back in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're live. I'm here with the Seattle police officer, Greg Anderson. Greg, do you think that the government is a tyrannical government right now? Yes. And it was like, all right, going back to break. And I remember thinking, man, this lady may be in my side, like politically or whatever it may be. Like she may be supportive of what I did, but I'm still not getting to convey anything about me or beliefs and I was like, these media outlets are no longer for me. I don't enjoy this at all.
It's truly why I like doing podcasts. And actually in the intro with Chris, we were talking about that, how you do these small hits. You don't really get to know the person. And pretty much everybody I've interviewed, I've really gotten to know. Like, I feel like I know you, even though we've never met. We've had a lot to say in this past hour. The only thing I was going to say, I know, Chris, you have like a hard.
Yeah, I got a contractor coming over, and it's taken me forever to get him. But no, I still talking with. That's why I hit you up, bro. That's because I remember the first interview I did was Bill O'Reilly. I got to say five fucking words.
Who's? I'm going to say it. This is coming from me. Who's a fucking?
I got to say 5 fucking. But that's what I was like. Hey, dude, I'm here if you need it. But you really had to go do it for yourself to figure out how it was. But I just wanted to know you had an ear that if you had a question, I got it. I understood. I really felt like I understood, and I understood. We got lucky. When we left, we lost our job. When they told us behind closed doors, hey, if you go say anything, you guys losing your clearances, you're done. So it's like, that's why I admired your livelihood, because there's a lot of guys that don't. They use that as their excuse. Well, I'm going to lose my job. Well, so fucking what? Say something. No, I'm going to lose my. Yeah. Now ours went, but we didn't know it was going to go that route. In fact, we were still thinking we were going to go to prison for 10 years for violating our non-disclosure. It's scary shit when you're leaving your job. Yeah. It's scary shit to say the words but to fall on the back. And I hated that. I hated that guys would do that. And even within the GRS or CIA side of the house, guys could have come forward with us. It was, well, I'm going to lose my job. Or the staffers. Well, I'd say something, but I'm going to lose my pension. They're not going to give me my pension. Well, fuck you. Who gives a shit? Yeah. What's your moral code? Do you have it? Take where's your faith? And I admire that. And that's why I never hit up anybody in your position that came out like that and said stuff because well, they got it. Yours, it's like, fuck, they're going to come after him. Man, I just want to let him know that he's got a friend here. If he wants to ask anything, I get it. I really, at least I thought I got it.